So welcome to day 3 for the Friendsgiving that Kasey, Julia, and I are having tonight. So I just got home from the grocery store and I figured I would film a little haul of everything that I picked up. I will leave the exact recipe on the screen, but I wanted to sit down and give you guys a quick little rundown if you guys don't follow me over on Instagram, and found a 3-centimeter hemorrhagic cyst on my left ovary. So I will check in with you guys in a little bit. Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's vlog. I'm starting today's vlog, which I think is day 3 of Vlogcember. I am pre-filming and vlogging a bunch of videos this week, and I'm unsure of the upload order, but I think today's video is day 3. So welcome to day 3. I'm starting today's vlog outside of Starbucks. I just inhaled my croissant. I am starving and started on my coffee. It is 9:33 and I just dropped the boys off at school. And today I have quite the busy day ahead of me. When I go home right now, I need to prepare 2 dishes for the Friendsgiving that Kasey, Julia, and I are having tonight, which is very much delayed. We were supposed to actually have this first off on the 17th, but then I forgot about it and my grandma came. Then we were supposed to have it the Monday after Thanksgiving, and I unfortunately was sick, and so we finally rescheduled until today, and everything is going well so far, and it looks like we're going to be having our little Friendsgiving, which now at this point it's kind of just like a holiday themed wine night since Thanksgiving is past. But when I get home, I need to prep my 2 dishes for that. And then I need to pick the boys up from school at their normal time and take them to Harris's mom's house because I have a follow-up appointment with my OBGYN, which if you follow me over on Instagram, you would have already heard this entire story about how I had a hemorrhagic cyst burst and something called ovary torsion, which I'll explain a little bit more later on in the vlog. But I have that appointment today at 1:15, so that is why I only have this short little block of time while the boys are at school to prepare my dishes. And then I'll be out of the house until maybe like 3-ish, maybe a little bit after, since they're kind of like squeezing me in. I don't really have a full appointment and my OB is going out of town, so they're just kind of squeezing me in. They told me to come and wait and see if he'll be able to see me. So I don't know how long or how late I'm going to be out of the house today, and then once I get back, I'll have to get myself ready, finish preparing my meals, do like the finishing touches, and then the girls are coming over around 6. So jam-packed day. But before we jump into the rest of the footage from today and whatever I'm going to get, I did actually film a little grocery haul yesterday when I got back from Stop and Shop with all of the items and things I'm going to be using to make my dishes. So I'm going to quickly insert that footage in here so you guys can see, and I'm gonna head home, and then after that I will jump into making my dishes. Hey guys, so I just got home from the grocery store and I figured I would film a little haul of everything that I picked up, and then I would just insert it into the real-time footage that you guys are seeing of my little Friendsgiving / holiday party with the girls. I got everything I need to make the dishes that I'm going to make. So I don't know how much I've already explained in real time in the vlog, which is tomorrow. But the girls and I, we did Friendsgiving last year, and I believe we did that before Thanksgiving last year, and we decided to do like full dishes and have like a full 3-course meal, and for the 3 of us it was just so much food with everything that we brought. And so this year we decided to downsize a lot in what we were going to do for Friendsgiving, so we're actually just doing appetizers and desserts. So of course Kasey is bringing her charcuterie. She is the charcuterie queen, and whenever we have get-togethers, even if it's like a wine night at my house, she always brings a charcuterie board, so she is doing that. I decided to do spinach and artichoke dip. This is one of my favorite appetizers ever, and it's pretty simple to make. I actually went on TikTok and found 2 different spinach and artichoke dip recipes. Both of them are pretty similar. I think I'm going to just like tweak it and make it my own. I did get a few more things to add in, and I think I'm going to add some garlic in it because I love garlic. So I'm going to just kind of tweak it and play around, but the basis of my ingredients I found off of TikTok. And then for dessert, we were actually supposed to have this Friendsgiving night last week, the Monday after Thanksgiving, I think we decided on originally. But I wound up being sick. So we pushed it back to this week. And now that it's after Thanksgiving, we are kind of over the Thanksgiving meals. I was going to make either a blueberry crumble or an apple crisp, and Kasey was gonna do a bunch of like Thanksgiving-y pies, but I think she's changed her mind as well with what dessert she's bringing. So I changed my mind as well. And on top of that, I have a bit of a busier day tomorrow, so I need to be able to prep everything that I want to make and serve in the morning when the boys are at school. So I just tweaked my dessert a little bit, and I'm going to be doing a sugar cookie with like candy cane bits on top. So let me show you guys what I picked up. So like I said, I'm doing spin dip, and I have 3 different dip options, like dipping options for the spinach and artichoke dip. I got a classic restaurant style tortilla chip, because you can never go wrong with that with a spin dip. And then I also picked up a pretzel crisp. I thought that this would be really easy to scoop up the dip, and a pretzel might be really good with it. I don't think I've ever had spinach and artichoke dip with pretzels, but to me that seemed very sensible. And then I got this French bread. I don't know if it's a French baguette or just French bread. I liked how nice and small it was, since we don't need too much because I already have 2 other dip options. I got this, and I'm going to just chop it up into little like scoop pieces, so you can scoop your spin dip with the bread if you'd like. So those are the 3 dip options I have for my spinach and artichoke dip. Oh, I also picked up applesauces for the boys because we ran out. And then as far as the spinach and artichoke dip goes, I needed grated Parmesan cheese. I needed a bag of frozen spinach. I also needed sour cream, as well as an 8-ounce block of cream cheese for the dip. I also picked up Parmesan cheese to sprinkle on top and brown on top of it, but I also think I'm going to throw a little bit of this in it, and the boys love grated, like shredded cheese like this, and it was 2 for $6. So I picked up 2 mozzarella cheeses. I also picked up some tins to make the spinach and artichoke dip. I'm actually going to throw it in my crock pot, I think. One of the recipes I saw on TikTok did that. So I think I'm going to throw it in my crock pot to like melt and physically make the dip. And then I'll throw it into one of these, sprinkle the mozzarella cheese on top, and bake it before the girls get here, so it's nice and warm and ready to go. So I picked those up, and then of course I needed 1 can of artichoke hearts. These ones are actually quartered already, which I thought was perfect. I didn't need like the whole chunks of artichoke hearts. And then for dessert, I picked up sugar cookies, white chocolate, what are these called, like chocolate chips. I picked these up. My plan is going to be to melt these down, bake the sugar cookie, and then I'm going to dip half of the sugar cookie in white chocolate and crush up a bunch of candy canes that I already picked up. I got those from Target. They're like the little ones. Crush a bunch of those up and then sprinkle it on the white chocolate side of the cookie to have like a festive candy cane white chocolate cookie for dessert. So that is everything I picked up for my dishes. Now we're gonna jump back into real time, the day that I'm actually vlogging the Friendsgiving. So yeah, let's jump back into that. Okay, I just took my crock pot out and gave it a nice little wipe down and took out all my ingredients for the spinach and artichoke dip. I think I was supposed to take out the spinach and thaw it out, but I forgot, so we're gonna throw it in just like that and hope for the best. The 2 videos that I'm referencing on TikTok, one guy put a block in completely frozen, the other girl thawed it out, so I think it could be done both ways, but I'm doing it in my crock pot so that I can set it in here and forget about it until later. I think I'm going to cook it on low. It'll probably be in here about 4 to 6 hours. And then later on, when I get home from my doctor's appointment, I will give it a good stir, put it into one of these dishes, top it with more mozzarella cheese, and then save that to throw it and bake right before the girls get here. So I will leave the exact recipe on the screen, the exact measurements of everything that I'm using. I have Parmesan cheese here, the artichoke, spinach, cream cheese, sour cream, mozzarella cheese. This I'm adding in to make it a little bit more cheesier. I think both recipes that I saw didn't do this, but I'm gonna do it. And then I did want to use minced garlic, and I thought I had some in the fridge, but I don't. So I'm just gonna do garlic powder, salt, and pepper to taste. So step 1 is going to be throwing all this in. Okay, this is what it's looking like. I tried to spread everything out in here so that it would cook down evenly. So I did the bag of spinach along the bottom, salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder, very generous amounts to taste. On top of that, I cut up the block of cream cheese and spread it out, spread the sour cream out, and then I added my cheese. I did a very loving portion of mozzarella cheese because I do like mine pretty cheesy, Parmesan cheese, and then had the quartered artichoke hearts, so I didn't have to cut those up myself. Dump those over the top. So I'm going to stick the lid on this and throw this on. Like I said, I'm going to put it on low just because I'm going to be having it in here for quite some time. I have my doctor's appointment, like I said, and so I don't know what time I'll be back, so it will be in here for quite a few hours. So I think low is the safe bet, and then I'll be able to throw it in the dish and bake it with the extra cheese on top later on. So this is basically done. I have my oven preheating to 350 so I can get started on the dessert, but let me turn this on and then I'll explain the dessert. So for dessert, I'm doing like a peppermint cookie. I have these sugar cookies from Pillsbury I'm going to throw in and bake, and then when those are almost done baking, maybe even when I take them out to cool, I'm going to melt down some of these white chocolate morsels, which I've never melted down chocolate chips before, so this could be interesting. I don't have a microwave, so I'm not too sure how I'm going to do this yet. I need to get creative, but I'm going to melt these down and crush up a bunch of these mini candy canes, and then my plan is to dip either half the cookie in the chocolate and sprinkle the candy canes, or just do some chocolate sprinkle, like drizzle on top with the candy canes. I haven't decided just yet my exact approach, but this is the dessert that I'm going to make. So once these are in, let's see how long they need to bake for. 13 to 17 minutes. So once these are in, I'll sit down and explain to you guys the doctor's appointment and kind of what happened with me, just in case you guys didn't see it over on Instagram. And then, like I said, when I take them out, or when I'm close to taking them out, I'm going to work on melting this down. Okay, the cookies are in. It says 13 to 17 minutes, so I did 15. So I have about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to start preparing the chocolate and the candy canes. But I wanted to sit down and give you guys a quick little rundown, if you guys don't follow me over on Instagram, about what happened to me last week. I'm going to give the very watered down version, so if you guys want to hear like in-depth, step-by-step my experience, I did post an Instagram story, and that is saved under my hemorrhagic cyst highlight on my Instagram. But basically what happened last Thursday around 11:30, I experienced this intense and insane pain in my lower stomach. I had no idea what it was, and it lasted for hours without any relief. I did try and take Tylenol, move around everything, and nothing was working. And I, of course, had to go and pick the boys up from school. So I even drove to go get them in this immense and intense pain. And so Harris wound up leaving work early, got home around 2, I would say, and I drove myself to the hospital because I didn't want to have to wake the boys. They were down for a nap, or even call an ambulance, and no one else was around that could drive me. So I took myself to the hospital, and I was there for a good chunk of the afternoon. I think I wound up coming home around like 7:38ish that night. But basically they did an internal and external sonogram and found a 3-centimeter hemorrhagic cyst on my left ovary, and it seemed to have ruptured. Now, I'm not a specialist in this area, but from my knowledge and what they told me and Google, a hemorrhagic cyst is basically where your follicle that releases your egg every month breaks or pops a blood vessel and forms this cyst full of blood. That's where the term hemorrhagic comes from. And then that can burst and you basically bleed into your abdomen, which is what was happening to me. I was having some degree of internal bleeding. And I also, or they felt that I was at risk for something called ovary torsion, where your ovary basically flips over on itself. And because of the size of my cyst and it being the size of what my ovary was, so my ovary was like 2 times its size and it was pretty heavy, they felt that I either had ovary torsion or that I could be at risk of having it again because the cyst was still on my ovary. When they did the sonogram, there was good blood flow to both ovaries, so they weren't concerned that I had lost any blood flow or anything like that, because that is something that can happen with ovary torsion. And they basically medicated me up and sent me home, and all of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday I was super uncomfortable. I was pretty swollen, with blood in my abdomen from bleeding out, and it's such a weird feeling. I described it as feeling like I ate the largest meal ever and was so insanely full, and also being like 7 months pregnant. Like, I was just swollen, I couldn't move around, it was super uncomfortable. My ovary was still a little sore, but then finally on Sunday, that was the first day that I felt a lot better. It seemed that my body was reabsorbing the blood and the bloating has gone down significantly, and even now I'm not really in much pain, but I was for quite a few days after that. So because of this, the hospital told me to do a follow-up appointment with my OBGYN, and like I mentioned, he's going away this week, and so they're trying to squeeze me in today to get seen, just because I guess this is like a time-sensitive matter. They did tell me that there are a few more cysts located around my ovary, and that the 3 centimeter hemorrhagic cyst was still there. But like I said, your body kind of reabsorbs the blood, and it does shrink and go away on its own if it's not a cause for concern and surgery needs to be done. Obviously, it wasn't a cause for concern or wasn't that detrimental there, because they would have sent me in for surgery. So today I'm basically going to hopefully find out how the cyst is doing, how my ovaries are doing. I don't know if they're gonna do more like sonograms and things to look at the other cysts that are on my ovaries, but I think this is just a good appointment to have with my OB, just so it's on record that I have this. I don't know how it affects fertility. My friend asked me if there was a possibility that I had PCOS, because I do have quite a few cysts on my ovaries, but I wasn't diagnosed with that, and I don't know. I think I'm gonna ask my OBGYN today, and I know with PCOS, you do have difficulty getting pregnant again. And I know this can happen where you have like one successful pregnancy and then everything kind of goes to shit, and you can have secondary infertility or issues like this arise because of your hormones. My other question for my doctor, which I don't know if he'll be able to give me answers or if I'm going to have to find a specialist, but I feel like I'm just getting so many cysts. If you guys have been around for a long time, you would know I have one in my brain called an arachnoid cyst, I think. I have a benign cyst on my thyroid that I've been monitoring and having appointments for, and now all of these ones on my ovaries. So I don't really know what is happening to my body and like what is causing all of this. But at 1:15 today, so after I pick the boys up from school, I have to take them to their grandma's house, Harris's mom's, and then I'm gonna go to that appointment. So I'll keep you guys updated after the appointment with what the doctor says. But that is what I have going on this afternoon, and that's why I have to get everything done for Friendsgiving this morning. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for those cookies to be done baking and then get going on decorating them, and I'll show you guys what those look like. I think it's about 10:15 right now, so I'm doing good for time. I don't have to leave to get the boys until about 11:50, so I'll keep you updated. Okay, I did not vlog the process of this at all because melting the chocolate down without a microwave was a lot harder. This is the only glass bowl that I have, and it's so much smaller than the pot, so I had to keep taking it out and mixing it and putting it back in, and so that took me like 45 minutes, and they don't even look that pretty. I did some dipped ones, some drizzled ones, and then some drizzled ones without the candy canes on top, and I'm going to assemble them on a plate and try and make them look nice. But this is my long-winded effort at chocolate dipped candy cane cookies. I need to now go clean all this up and get ready to pick the boys up soon. Okay, I just got out of my doctor's appointment. He said everything looks good. The cyst, I'm like not swollen from it anymore, and he couldn't even feel it. So he thinks that it has resolved itself on its own. So now I just need to keep an eye on this. He said next month, if after my period I'm feeling pain, then it is still there. And to just call back and we will follow up from there. But I'm all done. Got a clean bill of health. I think it's like almost 2 o'clock, so that really didn't take too long. They told me I was gonna have to wait a little bit, and I actually didn't wind up really having to wait at all. I guess he squeezed me in his schedule and I was able to be seen. So I'm gonna go back now and pick up the boys from Harris's mom's house and then head back with them and work on my spinach artichoke chip. I need to like mix it around and everything, and then I guess I'll have to get myself ready with the boys' wake, and the girls are coming over around 6. Okay, we just got home. It's about 3 o'clock, and I mixed together everything in the spinach and artichoke dip, and it is so insanely delicious. So I turned off the crock pot. I'm just gonna let it sit in here warm and then put it in the dish and cover it with the rest of the cheese and broil it probably like 30 or so minutes before the girls get here. And then I have the boys in here, They got some happy birthday balloons from Harris's mom's birthday. These were left over at the house, and they asked if they could take them home. So we are home now. We don't really have too much going on until the girls get here later on. So I will check in with you guys in a little bit. Whoa, you got your balloonies? Where'd you get those from? It's going up high? You're doing yo-yo? Yeah. Wow. Don't break the string again.
Got the charcuterie.
Using your voice.
Jen made some spinach artichoke dip with three different dippers.
options.
I made
And then Julia
She
got
slaved
some mac and cheese
over the
homemade,
stove.
tzatziki, and some pita chips. And this is our little spread. And then for wine, where is it?
Yours is on the counter.
Oh, this is apothecary.
And then I
we
got
got
bread and butter.
Cute.
Looks so good. And I didn't eat lunch or dinner.
And then we got a Yule log.
Cranberry.
And then Jen made these little
White chocolate. I think my fingers are white chocolate. Sugar cookies with candy canes. These are cute. We got a mitten, tree, star, tree.
very festive.
Very cute.
Is it a star or is it a snowflake?
Oh,
Either whatever you
I didn't think about that.
Into it.
Good morning, guys. It is actually the next day now. I never wound up ending the vlog last night. The girls didn't wind up leaving until almost 11, I think it was. And I also didn't get too much footage from yesterday afternoon just because the afternoons are so hectic with the boys in general, and then all of us preparing our foods and just trying to get everything set to go when the boys went to bed. It was a little chaotic and crazy, but I did get a few clips of the food and what I could get. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing a day in my life for yesterday. Little snippets of our Friendsgiving / holiday party. And of course, hearing updates about myself and my hemorrhagic cyst, which I'm so glad that everything seems to be resolving itself. So that is it for Vlogcember Day 3, and I will see you guys tomorrow.